It's June 23rd, 2020, and today would have been the 80th birthday of Stuart Sutcliffe, who is the Beatles' first bass player, and he tragically died in 1962 of a brain hemorrhage. He had left the Beatles before he died to stay in Hamburg after the Beatles went to Hamburg several times, and to stay with the artist, photographer, Stuart Sutcliffe. There are two soundtracks here from the movie Backbeat. You gotta check out the movie Backbeat. It's not a bad little docudrama about the Beatles in Hamburg, and mainly about Stuart and Astrid's romance and what went on. There's a score, and then there's the cover of the Beatles cover versions doing rock and roll standards of the day. And there's a kind of a great book here in my collection. A Genesis book called Stuart. One of the great photographs by Stuart Sutcliffe, who actually just died last month. There's Stuart. Talk about a James Dean kind of look, really kind of a very cool look. He's the one who first got the infamous Beatle haircut that Astrid cut for him. But this book, put out by Genesis, showcases a lot of his sketches and paintings. He had sort of an impressionist, modernist style. Let's see, let's get to see some of the paintings. Some of the sketches. I mean, amazing work. Cool book, Genesis. These are limited edition books. This comes with this little sketchbook reproduction of his actual sketchbook, one of his sketchbooks. And there is one more picture I should show you. In our Beatles England, we do have a section on day tripping that showcases everything outside of London, Liverpool in our travel book, The Beatles England, available in the gift shop. But there is one photograph that I kind of like. If I can find it here. Maybe it's in the Liverpool section. You know, I could have bookmarked this before so you wouldn't have to sit. This is a picture I took of one of Stuart Sutcliffe's paintings that was in possession at the house of Alan Williams, who was the Beatles' first manager. So that's a black and white version of the color. It's a color painting. I do have a picture, not in the book, of me holding the painting. But anyway, that's a little moment to round out. 80 years old, wow, he would have been 80 years old and he died at 21, tragically. An amazing artist. I think he would have really, his paintings I think would have been very desirable right now for art collectors and just people who love art. But Stu Sutcliffe, happy birthday, Stu. So I was watching a video by Earhead 6 Bo from not too far from me, just 2 hours south of me, maybe, hour and a half south in Washington State. I'm in Seattle. He's south in the Olympia Peninsula, I think. And not only does he collect great music, has a lot of great 60s stuff, and he's on a kick right now, which we all get on a roll, I should say, not a kick, to expand and get into some new music. But he also collects and finds cheap vintage lunch boxes. So I only have 2 vintage lunch boxes, which I'll show. And luckily I got these, I didn't get these initially when they came out, but I got them in the early 70s. So I probably paid no more than $20, $25 a piece. And now, of course, you know what they go for. Maybe you don't know, but they go for a lot of money. 1964, the Beatles Lunch Box. It's like an art piece, isn't it? What's inside? What do you think is inside? It's a friggin' thermos. Oh. It's funny. Well, it's not fun. It's rusted to hell, but Beatles thermos. There's Polly. There's John. There's the Fabs. There's Ringo and George. I didn't realize that I had a copy of Cellar Full of Noise, the first sort of autobiography written by Brian Epstein. Wow, this was inside. I forgot one since I moved. I put something in here, and this is a little Beatles pocket watch. I need to leave these out in my collection. National Safety Council, Nashville, Tennessee. So that's that. And then another one I got this in San Francisco in, I'd say 73 or 4. And that is a Yellow Submarine from 1969 box. Now I didn't buy this, I bought this in the 70s, so. Fun stuff. Okay, you get the idea. It's hard to do the Maslowian flip on a lunchbox because they're too thick. Hey, vinyl community. So it's Mazzy here. So I thought I'd do a little kind of, just combine some things together, some Beatle-related things from my collection that are non-LP, non-vinyl, that are CDs. And I'm not showing my entire Beatles CD collection. You know, I think these are little oddities or little things that are a little unusual, somewhat unusual. Most people buy a lot of Beatles stuff will know these, some may not. But they're in a separate section, not with my normal CDs, just because normal CDs fit in a separate drawer in my collection or on the wall there. This is in this sort of mid-century unit here I have over here. And I just have some weird things, or unusual things that don't really fit anywhere else. And I thought you'd like to see them because we have nothing else to do right now. Pre-recorded reel-to-reel, quarter-inch reel-to-reels of Revolver, 7 1/4 IPS inches per second. I don't have a reel-to-reel anymore, I used to, but I found someone actually sent these to me several years ago. I thought it was really sweet of that person. Unfortunately, I can't remember who it is. So if you sent them to me, it was way before the whole vinyl community thing I'm involved with. But I got Revolver. I got the Beatles' Hey Jude album, a posthumous release. This was a weird thing that Alan Klein made them put together. It was good that it pulled together singles like Hey Jude, Old Brown Shoe, Don't Mean Out, Ballad of John and Yoko. But Can't Buy Me Love, I Should Have Known Better, those two really didn't fit in with Paperback Rider, Rain, Lady Madonna, and Revolution. Because it has more of that 60s, 66 and beyond songs. And the early the Fabs of the Beatles don't fit in musically, in my opinion, on this collection. But that's the last photo session that the Beatles officially did with the great photographer Ethan Russell, who photographed the cover. Ethan Russell did a lot of Rolling Stones photographs and the Who's Next cover. American expatriate who was in England in the late 60s and early 70s. Did some great stuff. I have a book he put out, the Kickstarter project last year. Really wonderful, so go check that out. The Beatles, obviously the White Album, produced by George Martin. And this is just interesting. I was in the record business in the 70s, and then my girlfriend worked at a radio station, and this is a BBC special, national tape service sent out to radio stations. This is an interview with George Harrison, London Waylife, BBC special. God, do I remember what, is this around? I don't remember when this was done. This is done in the 70s. Oh, here we go. You know what a reel-to-reel looks like. If you don't, that's what it is, quarter-inch tape. When I was a broadcasting major at San Francisco State, so I used to do a lot of actual physical editing and did a lot of montages and cut quarter-inch tape and did a lot of editing and things which I really love doing, audio montages. Okay, this is All You Need Is Love. Oh, Brian Matthew. You know Brian Matthew from all those Beatle interviews that you've heard on the BBC sessions. Ding dong, bye bye love. Okay, so this is True Love. This is from the 33 and the Third album period that this came out. What else do I have here? Beatles mini CD collection, little box set. This is when they went through that 3-inch CD thing, CD singles. That really kind of caught on like wildfire, didn't it? But of course, the collectors like me got sucked into it, and I also bought, I left them sealed in long boxes, these CD singles. So, when you're a Beatle fanatic and a Beatle collector, there's a lot of Beatle shit to buy, Okay, what else do we got? Okay, CD singles collection. These are the CD singles with picture sleeves. These are kind of fun. I'm not going to go through every single one, but you get the idea. Fun collection, fun stuff. Fun stuff to sit around and look, times like now, when you have nothing to do. Do I have nothing to do? It seems so. Okay, the compact disc EP collection, extended player EPs, if you don't know that. I'm sure most of you know it. And these are what came out in the United Kingdom, because remember, in the UK, the Beatles tried to give more value, bang for your buck to their fans in those days. So singles and things would not be on albums. So really cool selection. If you haven't seen the EPs, you should collect it. I have all the actual EPs, the original and early 70s, late 60s pressings and 70s. And of course, Magic Miss Tour, which came out originally as an EP in the UK, never was an album. Well, it was an album only in America. And then in several other countries in Germany when they added singles on side 2, but it was just an EP, double EP in the UK. But a fun set box. Then of course, the infamous Beatles on mono on CD. Now careful, there are Russian counterfeit versions of this, so if you're looking to buy this still, if you don't have it, now the vinyl box is extremely rare now, and it goes for well over $1,000, so it's probably too late to get that, unfortunately. Those were analog cut. That's one of the best things you should get. But this is really good too. But there are Russian Federation bootleg copies, so I suggest if you order it from a reputable manufacturer. The Beatles albums, these are the American versions. Unfortunately, there are some issues. I mean, I love these because they're like little Japanese album covers, LP replicas, and they're gorgeous. But as I recall, these aren't all the perfect, or not the American mixes, where a lot of people don't like the American mixes because Dex Dexter, the Capitol producer engineer, added a lot of reverb for the American versions. I think, I grew up with those, so they're really fun to have. But as I recall, these use the UK mixes, the remixes, I think. But they did do a couple of series in different variations of some of them like this. And these actually, I think, have the official American mixes. The packaging is really shitty, but these are kind of cool too. And they didn't go to the end. They did 2 volumes of this. They didn't go to the end. Capitol kind of was screwing up in those days, I think, Beatle reissues. But it's fun stuff, and I love the Beatles stuff as an alternative thing. And then there's the Beatles Japanese CD box set. Has a bunch of the CD configurations. which are a combination of UK and American configurations. This is fun, not specifically just Beatles, but I got this from a friend of mine who was the president of Capitol Records at the time. 50th anniversary of Capitol Records, 1942 to 1992. And it's got everything from Nat Cole to the Beatles to Steve Miller to Peggy Lee to, there's sections, country music, classical, roots rock, R&B legends, Rockin' the Tower, Tower meaning the Capitol Tower. Birth of a Dream, Capitol's early years, when was a king, 1955, 1974. So it's really just an overview of the entire label, 50th anniversary. I believe I also have a 75th anniversary, which is a different configuration. These are fun. These are Japanese. Most of you who collect CDs and things like this know that Japanese do great packaging and do a lot of LP replica. I kind of wish, I'm not a fan of jewel boxes. I think jewel boxes are like a really shitty design. They crack. I know people don't like pulling their records out and they bitch about the cardboard scratches. Give me a break. I have a shitload of CDs and that's never happened before, but I wish all CDs started like this as mini LP replicas like the Japanese. So this is the John Lennon collection with Obi, some of them, most of them. You get the idea. I don't have to go through every single one. And then there are actually Chimera Music, which is Sean and Yoko's label, put out all these replicas of the John and Yoko records, Yoko records actually, and then some obviously with John, but Approximate Universe and Fly, this album. And if you like avant-garde, intense music, and Plastic Ono Band are great. I know a lot of Yoko haters out there. I've said before, if you follow me, I'm a fan, big fan of Yoko's. These are probably problematic, avant-garde, just sounds, noises, atmospheric, not even music. So probably stay away from these if you're faint-hearted. Of course, there you go. And live piece in Toronto with Eric Clapton and Alan White, John and Yoko. And then there's, let's see what else I have here. This was like an anniversary edition of Band on the Run. And a little clamshell. There's All Things Must Pass. I hate the remix on this. I'm hoping that this year they put out a 50th anniversary with a really good remix. This kind of, he re-recorded some stuff, did a new version of My Sweet Lord, which is not that interesting. I'm not a hater of the Phil Spector mixes and all that wall of sound. I think it works for that album. The original vinyl is incredible. This was an anniversary of of Living in the Material World. Has two bonus tracks, which were actually just B-sides of singles, Miss Odell and Deep Blue, and the DVD. So with some alternate stuff. This is, here's an open copy of Brainwash, expanded edition of George Harrison's posthumous album. This is a cool set, Give Me Some Truth, which has outtakes of John Lennon. Yoko has put together some great things. I do have a box set, the expanded box. I'm not going to pull it down. A big Lennon, the white box. Oh, well, Yoko's done right by Lennon. There's the Harrison stuff up on the top there, if you can see it. I think that's it for now. Of course, this was great. This was the 50th anniversary. Or actually, it wasn't 50th, was it? This was last year, anyway. And it's not the 50th, but great expanded version of Imagine with outtakes, the stems of the songs, 5.1. Really well done, really beautiful book, a nice package. And I, for one, think it's amazing. Since we're here, might as well finish up. Oh, these are the, one of them is the same as I showed you, a smaller version. This is how those Capitals came out, volume 1 and 2. And it only has their first 8 Capitol records, so it doesn't really go, it doesn't show Hey Jude, It doesn't do Revolver. Now, Pepper On, you could argue you don't need to do those because those were the same as the UK. But it should have gone through Revolver, included Revolver, and at least the Hey Jude album. But they kind of stopped. So they stopped and started and everything. This is a really fun collection. This is produced by George Martin. 50 years of recordings that George Martin produced. Everything from Peter Sellers to Shirley Bassey Goldfinger to obviously the Beatles, America, Paul Winter Consort, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Jeff Beck, Matt Monro. I said Peter Sellers, didn't I? Just really Cleo Lane. So it's got some of the comedy goon stuff. It's got obviously some Beatles, but some of the stuff's real schmaltzy, but it's a really good, is it 4-disc? I think it's 5 CDs overview of the history of legacy of one of the great great English producers, Sir George Martin. And what's this? So As It Happened, Classic Interviews, Gray Market collection. And then I'll end up with, if you want the stereo, this is a stereo box. Everybody knows about this. If they don't, they should. I'd say get the mono box first, and then fill in the last albums. Basically, fill in Magical Mystery Tour and the White Album, or actually not fill in Abbey Road and Let It Be. And this year is the 50th anniversary of Let It Be. That's been delayed, and that's it. Kind of a little different video for me, but hope you enjoyed it. And Mazzy loves you. Take care, everybody. There are a couple more things mixed in here, so I shouldn't have ended that. But this is a really cool bootleg box set. Beautiful. Look at this box set. And this is, in theory, all the tapes from the Nagra. Nagra is a tape recorder you used to sync up when you're making motion pictures. It was the audio from when they were doing the Let It Be sessions, the Get Back sessions. Hopefully a lot of this will be on the 50th anniversary. This is a bootleg set. You hear a lot of beeping throughout it because when you hear beeping on a recording that was on a Nagra, it's the beep is how you sync up the separately shot film when you're shooting. But this is a huge, the ultimate Get Back collection, which has a booklet and a number of CDs. How many CDs does it have? I don't remember, but look at all these CDs. 1, 2, 8. It's got, I think it's got 8. No, each one's 2, so 16 CDs or something, maybe more. But the Beatles bootleg, great bootleg session. Will this be obsolete when the 50th anniversary comes out? Probably not, because they're not going to include all this. They're going to edit and make it more listenable for most audiences, which is fine by me. So, you can't expect everything to put on these sets. It's just too much stuff. So, anyway, there's a couple more little bits in here, so stand by, and then all Beatle related today. So in terms of black market, gray market bootlegs, these are black market, gray market CDs. They're just cool for the covers. The Butcher album, Capitol should have put an anniversary of this in 2016, a 50th with this cover. I think they scared shitless, didn't want to do it. But it's great to have this, and Beatles versus the Four Seasons, an early VJ repackage of the few songs that VJ had licensed to. So they put this version. I have the couple copies of the original vinyl. This is a gray market. And what you do, listen to it, and you would rate the songs and vote for your favorite songs if it's the Beatles or the Four Seasons. So Sherry Baby or I Saw Her Standing There, Boys or Ain't That a Shame, Big Girls Don't Cry by the Four Seasons, or Baby It's You by the Beatles. You decide.